Hey everybody, it's Nate Carver, your favorite mortgage guy, and today we are talking to Sheri Sachs out of Anna, Texas, everything FSBO and her journey. This is going to be exciting. Hey, I'm Nate Carver, and welcome to Between Two Doors. Hey Sheri, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing, Nate?
I'm doing good. It's not to date stamp this, but it's middle of September and the weekend is in front of me and I'm
Yes.
going fishing. So
Oh, the weather is going to be amazing for it.
yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. Uh
Yes.
all right, so tell me, let's see, when did you get into real estate? Where was that?
Okay.
And I guess your journey is kind of unique. So I want to what you were thinking in the beginning
Yeah,
first. We'll do that. Let's do that.
sure. Sure. So, my dad, it was what we would know now as a flipper, but there weren't terms for that back in the 70s and 80s as I was growing up. And so I was kind of raised around houses. Uh, but my dad would pick up, the nastiest house in the neighborhood and make something of it. And then he used owner financing to resell. So that's all I knew about like house life. And really, that was his business. So that was business. And then it came time as an adult to buy a home. So we bought for sale by owner. Our first house we bought was owner finance. And then in 2010, I worked for a man who did owner finance seminars.
Hmm.
And this is early social media. So I was his social media director. We did lots of videos, we created courses, we just did a lot of things for his owner finance stuff. And then I met a woman who needed an assistant in her real estate business. And she was a traditional realtor. And I told her, I don't even know what you do. Like, I don't know, I don't even know what realtors do because up until that, all of my experience was buy it from the seller, owner finance. It was all this other stuff that was pretty prominent in the 70s and 80s. That wasn't a unique thing. But now in the middle of the 2000s, I'm looking at this woman who needs an assistant and I'm thinking, well, I'm smart enough to be someone's assistant, but I don't know what she does in her business. So it was a little bit of a learning curve in that part, and that is where I started, was someone's assistant.
All right. Where was that?
That was here in Frisco. Actually, I'm in Anna, but that was in
That was
Frisco.
over in Frisco.
Yep. And I've always said she had a terrible assistant. She kept me for a couple of years. She had a terrible assistant because I didn't know MLS. I didn't know process. I didn't know any of that. So it was
All right.
good beginning.
So as your journey in real estate, how long into it before you started leaning into FSBO in homeowner financing?
Yeah. So since that has been my base, I basically abandoned it very early
Yeah.
because once I started working with this agent, and that was in about 2011. And so by 2012, she said, if you went and got your real estate license, I have enough business for both of us, and I could really use a licensed assistant. So by
Hmm.
then, I had learned some things from her. So I went and got my license. And that begins the retail journey right there.
Yeah.
And I go on 15 years building my own book of business, doing very well.
Yeah.
And just in this, but all the whole time in the back of my mind was this owner finance, or I'm sorry, for sale by owner
Right.
course idea. And then in now that interest rates have been as high as eight, bouncing around in the sixes, a little bit sevens, this and that, and everybody is froze up. Now we're looking at sellers being upside down again, just like we saw in 8, 9, and 10. We're seeing, sellers that bought 3 years ago at the peak and can't get out unless they get a loan to pay commissions, this, that. And I thought, I think this is the time. This is really the time is right for someone to create a hand-holding system to
Hmm.
let for sale the seller actually be able to sell their own home, not be intimidated by it. And it's not everybody wants to do it because they're snubbing their nose at agents. There is a certain amount of that. But I think people find themselves in a place that it's really a necessity almost, in many, many cases that um, people need a solution. And so that is what got me thinking on it.
I agree. There are scenarios where having a lender paying commissions, um, there may not be enough equity paying,
Yes,
on the seller side, all the things that a seller has to pay for. If you're in a position where you have to sell, you have to sell.
you have to
And
sell. That's right.
and you know, having having a lot of options in front of you to make a wise decision is important. So let's set up, we'll do a time where we'll do an FSBO class, for sale by owner,
Sure.
uh,
Yep.
pros and cons, all that good stuff, and how you help serve that community. And I think that'd be very powerful. We're going to set up a time to do that.
That'd be great.
For you, I want, what are you doing outside of real estate? Um, no, hang on. Your passion now in real estate from when you started as a real estate agent. Talk to me a little bit about that. We kind of touched on it already, but I want to hear it
Sure.
again. Where you're at now and what you're doing.
Yeah. So I still love real estate, every bit of it.
Hmm.
There is nothing like watching people's body language and everything change when you walked into the right house. There
Hmm.
is nothing like sitting across from angry divorced people that are deciding to sell and being able to make sense of a traumatic situation. Helping people walk through an estate that is now shockingly on their plate. So we do a lot of things as agents. There's a lot of education in our business that goes on, and I love every bit of it. I always have. Um, as a child, riding with my dad to go look at property. That's how young
Hmm.
I was, Then I didn't have full words yet. So, yeah, we're going to go look at property. So, it's always been in me to love that. And really, when I think back at my life overall, all of my job experience has been service oriented, from ministry to restaurants to real estate. So all of it makes me happy to be serving people
Yeah.
and creating solutions for folks that either don't know what's possible, don't know they can do it. That first time buyer who says, I don't think we can buy. Why don't you think you can buy? Well, because grandma said we need 28% down or some crazy thing. And it's like,
Hmm.
well, things have changed. So let's walk through it. All of it, every bit of helping people create solutions in life is a puzzle I like to put together.
Right. That's awesome. So you touched on a couple of things. Ministry, what did you do in the church?
Yeah,
What were
in the
you doing
church.
there?
Well, I was raised kind of a pastor's kid. My dad was a worship leader. And
Okay.
so it's been in me since I received Christ when I was 9. So even at that point in life, I knew I needed it. So 9 years old. And so raised up in church, and then, went to some ministry school and married a young man that was ready to be a minister. So that was a match made in heaven, it seemed. And so off we went for 20 years in ministry. And we did everything from youth. Of course, you climb the ladder, right? Youth, then
Yeah.
young adults, then marriage and family. And then we planted our own church in Midland back in
Oh wow.
2001. So, yeah, so we spent 8 years in Midland as pastors. And then we came out to Dallas and participated in a church that was planting, and that was in 2009. And we stayed here ever since. So, uh, we are not still together, but I continue to volunteer and do things in the ministry arena and work on my business. So,
All right. Tell
yeah,
me, in the Anna area, so you started Frisco, out to Midland, back to Dallas, and now North Texas in Anna.
yeah.
Uh, what are some of the local things that you're involved in or um, would like to highlight?
Yeah, so Anna took me by surprise. We just moved here from the colony. My new husband. We just celebrated our second anniversary. So,
Congratulations.
yeah, we are a Match.com miracle. So that's fun. Anyone listening that's on those dating sites, it can work, but there it is. Just give you a little hope. Anyway, so we moved out to Anna in March of 24. And there was a mayoral race going on, and I was just so surprised at the low turnout of voters.
Hmm.
And it really made me want to. I have in the past when I lived in Prosper, I was part of the business group. Sorry, it just blew out of my head. Anyway, gosh, that's going to drive me crazy now. Anyway,
It'll
so
come
I was part,
right when
but
we end.
yes, yes, yes,
It's all
yes. It
right.
will come back to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was involved with things in Prosper, but not at like a government level. So to
Hmm.
move into Anna, we go to vote for the mayor's race, a couple of city council people, and I'm so shocked at a town of 30,000 that like 1,500 people showed up to vote, all in. And I just immediately thought, well, we got to change that. I got to do something about that. I don't know why I thought that was necessary. So now my husband and I attend every city council meeting. We go to things that city council people are doing. We are currently taking their class called Neighborhood Academy. It's 10 weeks of just learning about the city of Anna. I did
Hmm.
start a podcast about Anna called This is Anna TX. And that's kind of my newest hobby is being involved in this city and trying to be places and meet people and who knows where that goes. Most definitely, we've talked about city council or we've talked about, I always tease my husband that he's the next mayor, but he says no. We'll see. But it is fun to be involved and to go to things and yeah, be known by people in a small town and see it develop.
Yeah. Yeah. And Anna's like 45 minutes from downtown Dallas,
Yeah, close.
about the same drive time to DFW Airport,
Yep.
Love Field Airport, Lake Texoma.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, gosh, there's so many new things coming to like a 5 mile radius of
Yes.
Anna.
Yes.
A lot of wonderful stuff. Texas
Yeah.
Roadhouse. If you like steaks, I'm a
That's
big
right.
steak fan. So I'm like, now I don't have to drive very far. So whew, right there,
That's
there a
right.
lot. Uh,
And they
Lake
have a
Tim-
new restaurant group that just bought some property. So
yeah,
a conglomerate is coming in. They already have some brands over in Prosper and Salina, so they're coming over. And
yeah,
so there'll be a new outdoor venue. There'll be a brisket, um, barbecue. There we go. Barbecue place
yeah,
and a bar and a breakfast place. It seems like there's going to be some good stuff. I do know those groups on that side, but until they hang their shingle, I don't know if we're allowed to really talk about it all that much.
yeah.
So.
I wouldn't know.
But there's some good stuff coming, and then Anna's really trying to now kind of shift. They've got land already sold to developers that we
Yeah,
are going to have a huge shopping area come in. but they are now kind of shifting to focusing on this little downtown square and making that special. So that's really cool. It's just so many
Yeah.
new things that I just haven't done in the past in other towns, probably because I was raising children and just trying to keep up with all that, much less government politics. So now I have time. So.
Yeah. So tell me, you mentioned your podcast. Tell me, where can people go to listen to you talk about Anna and the stuff that's
Yeah.
coming into Anna?
Yeah, thank you so much for that. It's called This Is Anna TX. It's on Spotify, and we've had city council people, small business owners. I just recently met two different couples groups that were moving here from other states, and they started just kind of, hunting around to see what they could find out about the town, and they ran across our podcast. My husband and I do record together sometimes. Anyway, so the one gentleman I met, he was looking at me like this, and he goes, "That voice, I've heard your voice somewhere." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that." And then he goes, "It's a podcast." Oh my gosh, yes, I heard. So really funny things like that. It's exciting to be able to again help people.
Nice. All right, so I'll put that link, I'll
Thanks.
tag that link and then I'm gonna I wanna just tease it because we're almost out of time. Just
Okay.
tease the FSBO website.
Okay.
It's number one purpose, and we're gonna come back and we'll get a good conversation on that recorded.
Good. Yeah, it's called the Home Selling Playbook. Got to put the in there, the homesellingplaybook.com. And it's a for sale by owner course.
Awesome. All right,
Yeah.
there you have it. So thank you, Sheri. Everybody, so
Mhm.
FSBO, it might be the right thing for you. We're going to record something special for that. Just wanted to get on here and talk to Sheri for a little bit, learn about her and what she's doing in Anna. And let's get that scheduled, and we will talk to y'all shortly.
I
Thank you
look
very
forward
much.
to it. Thank you. Bye, guys.